folks, welcome back for another episode of our journeys. Oh my goodness gracious, we have Amarillo Designs, who is running a mono endurance deck. That's a first in a long time. It has been a while since mono decks were in vogue. I'm not even sure they're in vogue now. Perhaps this is a win condition, a whatchamacallit, a daily quest? I doubt it, though. I don't think there's any daily quest win a game with zero. Most of the daily quests that I remember that require you to win a game are with tricolor decks. So we're going to see what Amarillo can do with his one color against Nastified of the Honor clan. What he can do with two attributes. And it looks like it is going to be a... Goodness gracious, I'm having these giant gaps in my brain where it doesn't want to provide me with the right words. Doing the dirty factotums. The dirty factotums. I guess maybe dirty means having another color involved. So yeah, it's not, I mean, it is a mono deck, technically speaking, because it is one color. Got tired of losing to Invade in rank 1. So yeah, he's in the Thief now, trying to get to Legend, and apparently he's come up against a bunch of Invades. And I actually saw, I'm not going to call the channel out, I didn't actually get a chance to look at the video, but last night I saw a video that said, like, getting it done the dirty way or something, and it had like an Invade card on it. And I'm like, really? Really? You're actually spreading this garbage? It's not bad enough that you're doing it yourself? Now, I'm presuming, because I didn't actually get into it, and like I said, I'm not a drama person. It flabbergasted me because I thought pretty much anybody who has their face in the game, has any kind of personality in the game, is pretty much embarrassed to say that they run Invade. But apparently not. Apparently not. So, but I found that abysmal. Because, you know, people do, especially, you know, new players, or, I mean, people get inspired by stuff all the time, and if you go, hey, look, here's a cheap and easy way to get, I think it was even called, like, cheap dirty wins, or the cheap dirty way, or something. I was like, you've accurately described it, but that's not going to matter to some people. What they need to hear is, this is not what is good for the game, this is not what's good. Your personal climb shouldn't require you to, like, wreck a player base, you know, or make people just pissed off. I mean, as you saw, like, and to his credit, okay, well, his game will be coming up later in here. I shot a game with Tiago. Wow, okay, so this is a prophecy support. Because you don't play this. Well, I mean, maybe not. Maybe Wisdom of the Ancients is a card you'd play, but anyway, it looks like I don't think he's going to break that last one now. What's his next turn? 7. I mean, he is wearing Nastified down. The problem is he does have this, and if he's got... I mean, I wasn't going to say Immolating Blast, but I'm like, if he's got a way to make this trigger multiple times, or to get another one before Amarillo can close this out, it's going to be some rough seas for him. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. I didn't know any creators out there were actually trying to encourage... And maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was saying this is a cheap way to do it, but you know what? It's not worth doing it that way. So anyway, it was just that the thumbnail was set up like that, but it admitted it. It said dirty or you know, cheap. So it's interesting. Amarillo is saying this is dirty, but I think it's dirty because it's focused on neutral. It just features some endurance cards to enhance the neutrals, which is a whole other thing altogether. That's fine. And I mean, I remember, I think it was Spell Sword was like the primary combination of the two. And yet they never ran the what is it? It's a 4 cost, 8, is it 4 or 5 cost? The factotum that if you have a... Spirit of the sky, guide us. Oh, no. Yeah, it was the purple. It's the endurance that if you have... Whoa! He's so sad. He's such a sad, non-ambulatory dwarf. The last living dwarf. Alright, so good old Parfenax. And he's got what he needs for the loop. Or he could do a Night to Remember next turn. Oh, okay, so sorry. Yeah, that was Call Dragon. So a pretty significant buff up. Maybe that's what he means by dirty. We got the Call Dragon effect going there. But I mean, we've got several folks on the channel that run that. Run Call Dragon. I think it needs a balance adjustment. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's toxic for the game, but I do think it needs a balance adjustment. And it may get messy, like, when you think about game design, it may get messy to have, like, okay, shouts behave in this way, but these particular shouts don't behave in that way. That might be too messy, but, like, I'm thinking, you know... Well, no. So Call Dragon, if it just called Dragon and it interacted, but it didn't buff shouts, I think that alone would make it, to me, more... Oof, look at all that. Just flame broiling everybody. But, you know, I think that alone is what really kind of makes it even worse. It exacerbates the problem. But Amarillo knowing how to make his Parthenax shimmy and shake. And even though he is Factotums, it looks like he's got the materials, the resources he needs to make this game go longer. The problem is, as we are going to see here, that this card right here, this is, especially with what else he's got going on here, this is the card that changes. It's in one turn. You go from turtling up. He has lethal, right? 8? Well, let's see. Well, 5 times 4 is 25. Had lethal on the board. So now Amarillo has to... Yeah, I had to get rid of that guy. She was going to spiral things out of control. Let's have the Drain Vitality, which could be very good against a wide board, but he has to level it up. I don't... Well, no. Well, because it came from Parth. No! Oh, it's an enemy creature. Yeah, so it's not fully leveled up to what it needs to be. But he's got an organic Parth in hand that he can play 2 turns from now. But he's got to survive for those 2 turns. So we might see a Fire Breath. He might want to say that, but I think Nastified is just going to be... It's just a wide board. He's never going to... Well, you should never say never, but I don't think he's going to play something that's going to warrant 10 damage. But, as we learned from playing with... observing...
I'll do what I must.
Who was the latest deck delve? Oh, Eye of the Restless Storm. Holding on to those cards until, like you know, this is my emergency button, and I'm only going to use that. Okay, nice use of Excavate, which, by the way, that's Eldora. It's kind of cool. I wonder if that was a possible, like, Eldora card. Like, that was going to be her card art, and it didn't get used, and so they're like, all right, we'll just make it Excavate. But it's pretty cool. But yeah, Nastified keeping the pressure on.
I'll do what I must.
And... Oof. Wonder if he's gonna Soul Tear. Let's see, does he have... What's okay, so yeah, he used... And I'm guessing a guard of some kind.
Done.
I mean, draws a... Okay, so he could use... Bagarn? Never really got the pronunciation. I mispronounced it in the one video. Thought it was Yagram Balgriff. Clearly, I was wrong. Alright, so he is going for the guard. But it's not Balgriff, it's Yagram... Can't even remember now. What is it? Yagram... It's either Bagarn or Bagarn? Bagarn? Yagram Bagarn? He should say, "My name is Yagram Bagarn. I am a big guy on a little bitty set of sticks."
Chimeric spirit of the sky,
Oof.
guide us.
Is that game? 17 in the left lane.
I'll do what I must.
It's exact lethal. Oh! He's...
Nice try.
Okay. I mean, really... Aside from Parthenax
I'll do what I must.
pulling... not Soul Tear. Drain Vitality?
Done.
I don't see currently a way out. I mean, he can bring back another guard. Oh, he's got the workshop too. Oh, I think that's what he means by dirty.
Nicely done.
All right, there's the Drain Vitality. I don't know if that's enough to...
Nicely done.
I don't know if that's enough to do it. That's 7. That's exactly lethal.
Nicely done.
All right, Nastified, I get it. I know. I'm not a big fan of workshops myself. Although he doesn't even see the workshop. He just.
Nicely done.
Okay, now you're just being a jerk. Now you're just being a jerk. And I think that is, yeah, that's
I'll
exactly
do what I
lethal.
must.
Prophecy, gain 2 health. That might have just brought it out. Holy cow, Amarillo. That was clutch. Very rarely do we say, oh, he just needs a prophecy here. And I think that might have stalled out Nastified. I don't know. Right now I'm trying to look at...
I have many important things on my mind.
Yeah, that's not going to help. Nicely done. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, A-Ross up against Big Slick 1860, also of Honor. So Big Slick, you need to talk to your chum. I don't remember his name now. I already forgot it, but he emotes far more than is necessary for a game that is trying to stay cordial. Like, you know, take a page from my book. If you don't like what the opponent's playing, just concede. Give them the win, get the heck out of there, and go play a game that you enjoy, you know. And I don't mean like a game other than TESL. I mean get involved in a game that you enjoy, whether you play against your friends or whatever else. Don't spam people. It's so tiresome. It really isn't. I mean, I hate to say that it's a maturity thing because it sounds like a cop-out, but it really is. Like, there's a right way to deal with things you don't like.
We see you.
You know, you hear something you don't like, ignore it. There's food you don't like, don't eat it. A show on TV you don't like, don't watch it. Like, it's very simple. You don't have to engage. You don't have to slander it. You don't have to, you know, crap all over it. Just move on. That said, I think we are going to see A-Ross, well, I don't know. He's been whittled down quite a bit, and Big Slick 1860 does have a board he can build it a little bit bigger, even. And Corner Club's going to have to stick.
Keep you safe.
Yep, nope, that's a great card. That is one of, if not the favorite card of A-Ross. I know he said that he thinks the most effective card of the MVP of the series is Garnag, just because of his effect and how it can, its impact on games.
Stendar, give me.
I don't know that I argue with that. He's got it. Boom. Swift strike. Nice. The answers come to those who play the game. Okay, so we have joined Time Twist, NPO, the Hungry. Turn 7, so this is definitely not a young game. And it's enough that both players are pretty much him and PC51, also of Honor. What is going on with the Honor clan today? Or the Honor thing? I don't know if maybe that's just an informal thing, or maybe it's just a brand new clan that has now taken the game by storm. But yeah, I think this is the third Honor game in a row.
Important things on my mind.
Incano. That is a really spiffy pull this late on. He's very fortunately for Time Twist that it was not Incano followed by Abner, as that would have been truly backbreaking. I don't know about backbreaking. Okay, so it's interesting. And again, I'm not one to throw stones because, again, like I said, if I really wanted to, you know, if I was feeling it, I would be mixing it up myself. But I'm still a little raw from my last, you know, pretty much every time I actually play the game, I'm a little bit raw. So I don't, I'm not bemoaning anybody who plays but chooses to play decks for certain reasons, but this would be the second, not this one, not Time Twist, but I was talking with A-Ross, and he said the deck that he was playing was like a Burn Assassin, but with board control. So it's like, it's not the obnoxious kind. He said, oh no, it's the purest form of Screw You, you know, more colorful than that, but Screw You that there is. So like, so it's a very obnoxious deck, and he's like, yeah, getting tired of Invade, and what was the other one? Let's see. Matted Aggro and Control on the ladder. So it's the second game that we've seen kind of a reaction to what the ladder is doing. Not meta-wide, not like, I'm seeing a lot of, you know, Market Archer, so I'm playing the counter to that. It's you know, having the game get get on your nerves, really, is what it is. Because, I mean, players do have a role in it, but if, like, just say you're a control player, there's nothing inherently wrong with control as an archetype, as the way you want to play the game. You can't help it if you're the 6th control deck that somebody's played against. That's not within your control to deal with.
I have many important
And this is Telvanni, gonna Telvanni. But to PC51's credit, you know, he saw that he's got the opportunity to shift in. He was able to get rid of Time Twist's board. Time Twist in the top 50, and PC51 top 20. And I'm sure there was a pretty intense mix-up before we got involved here, up to turn 7, that, you know, PC51 probably was able to make some very good trades, which allowed him to have, you know, to clear Time Twist's board. And of course, you got some good late game cards. Devaith Fear at the very Devaith's Experiments at the very end, and Kano at the end. You know, it's wow. Look at Time Twist go, just destroying stuff. You just can't. It was just too much. The Devaith Experiments with anything on the board, really, or these high value targets, is just, it's too much. But good game, Time Twist.
Time to join the fight.
So we do join the slightly tilted, perhaps a little salty, Aros NPO. Looks like he is about to overcome Rondao, the strong. Perhaps I spoke too soon. But with that heirloom greatsword.
You fight well.
Yep. As Aros has said on occasions, prophecies matter. Prophecies make a difference. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Possibly. Corner Club getting rid of heirloom doesn't feel great. Maybe I don't know if she'll get, because that's a little more reach than the boat. But he's gonna have to get rid of either. But yeah, he can't play them both, so he's got to get rid of. We can't play heirloom. He can play lightning bolt now. Get rid of this renowned instructor. Which, hey, you know, it's good to see. This looks like a more or less either aggro or mid-range Empire, which you don't get to see very often. So kudos to Rondao or Rondo for kind of getting out of the box a little bit. When it comes to Empire, I mean, Empire is almost exclusively control now. Although I would not be surprised, even if this was a pure aggro deck, if we saw an Iliad Guardian come down, if we get that far into the game. So he does get rid of the conditional reach. And Rondao has the answers he needs. Now the good news is, with how this has gone down, he's not going to be able to shift Darkmane over and get a swing for Drain. He's kind of screwed himself there. But Aros taking no chances. Maybe I misunderstood that, or maybe there's a way. Because I mean, if he squishes any of these, the card just takes its place, and he can't move it over. So I don't think. Wow. Okay. No. Maybe this has to be at the very least mid-range, because otherwise you don't have that much removal. Note Aros. Bam. Top 15. I love how I just arbitrarily make that. I know I've done that before, but oh goodness gracious, it's getting precarious. I mean the game could be over essentially.
Nothing like a
on this. Oh, it is. 3, 6, 9, 11. 19. Okay. Yeah, he's going for next turn. Shrieking Harpy might help. Hey, Roz, I thought this was me. And yeah. And honestly, that is kind of the worst thing. When you get jilted. Like, I remember I had such a rough go of it one time that I made a poop on everyone deck. All the removal in the world, my gosh. Now, although to be fair to Rondo, those are synergistic with him and his wide board approach. So I can't really fault it too much. It is a removal, but it has function. So we might see a Dune Smuggler and the Shadow. I mean, really has to do it. All of his removals that he shouldn't be running in tokens. Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, that is the thing, though. That's part of what I think, I mean, gosh, he may get this guy beefed up just enough to win on his own. But it's, unfortunately, it looks like it's, but barring a prophecy, it is going to be GG from Rondo.
Here, watch and learn.
Yep, all good cards. It would have been great one turn earlier.
Stay down.
One turn earlier.
Stay down.
Come on. Yeah. Ah, sorry, Andy. All right, so we are coming at the tail end of another game, and we are seeing II 415. II 415. It's kind of catchy, kind of pithy. Let's see. And we're joining Rax, and I typically don't like jumping in this late into a game, but when it's our friend is on the back foot, I don't mind, because I love to see a good comeback. It's not as fun if you're rooting for somebody and they've got the lead. I don't want to stick around long enough to see them lose it somehow, because it's happened to me enough times, and that's just not a great feel-good story. I think this is a great narrative. If he loses, he loses. You know, it's unfortunate, but right now it looks like he could very well stabilize that big old aspect of her scene coming down as a guard. And may even see a concede out of 1-1-4-5. But, you know, hey, so we saw 3 games with honor, and we're seeing a lot of games right now of easily 200, top 200 legendary players.
Shall be ours.
Oh, a big whiff from the ally. He is neither mighty nor ally. Duh, I guess. Yeah. I feel like I was on a, yeah, so yeah, it's just interesting. You know, the game can rub you the wrong way. And I respect people that continue to, oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, I got really bent out of shape one time, and oh, interesting. So Andy was saying that, I guess, and he said he saw that K Fluffy was running one of Andy's, what did he say? Was it assassin? Archer. Okay, so the movement archer that we saw, if you remember, if you saw the last video, K Fluffy, we got some K Fluffy games, and he was running Andy's archer build, and he said he made him warm and fluffy on the inside. It really is, when you, I mean, granted, no matter how good of a player you are, how great of a player you are, I should say, when another great player sees fit to play one of your decks, one of your creations, it really is quite flattering. I was flattered when one of my viewers actually just played one of my Orc Warrior deck. It's not a brain, big brain deck. It's about as simple as you can get, but he said, hey, I used your deck, and I got, he went up 2 ranks or something. So, even that is really nice to hear, let alone, some of the top, I mean, granted, when you're in the top 100, when, you're amongst friends who all have the top 100 card back, top 10 card back, you're all pretty much at the same level, but it's still, it's like, of all the decks you could play, you chose mine. And it's kind of it's a nice feeling, to be sure. But Raxon, as I am flapping my guns, goodness great, I am exhausted right now. I'm exhausted. Yeah, good kind of exhausted. It was a good day at work, but it was a physical day. We did a lot of moving, a lot of equipment schlepping back and forth, a lot of stress. Had some equipment that wasn't working right. I mean, it actually was working right, but I had to convince my companions that it was doing what it was supposed to do, that we were asking it to do something that it's not meant to do. And that trying to look up solutions to something that's not a problem, technically, wasn't going to get us anywhere, and was able to, come up with a solution. Reaction, bam, just getting that win. So good to see. So we're circling back around. We're circling back around to Arosh, NPO, to see what he can do with his movement deck. Now, okay, so seems he's abandoned, unless it's not burn it. Was he running assassin before? I feel like he was running assassin before. Yeah. So he's not running his dirty burn assassin. He's running movement archer, which is, I don't want to say just as bad, but and I actually I won't say any names, although you probably know who it is because you watched an earlier video. But yeah, there was a deck that All right, we're going to start from here. So we're circling back around to Arosh NPO to see what he's got cooking, and it looks like he has given up on the assassin route and is now switched over to an archer, which I overall condone myself. I like archer a heck of a lot, but this is movement archer, which is a little bit dirty, but not terribly dirty. I was spectating a game Goodness gracious me. I was spectating a game that I had to back out of because I didn't want to be hypocritical. I was just saying, like, why would somebody be out there promoting, decks that we know are broken? And a friend of mine, somebody that I consider to be a friend, at least in as much as you can, well, I don't know, because you can have, like, I've met people online, like, people that I met online I've met in real life. So I think that takes it to the next level. And then there's people that I meet online and we have discussions and we get, we go deeper and further than just the reason why we meet. So like, actually there's been a lot of people that I've had conversation with, like we start talking about TESL, it's like an in-game conversation, and we end up talking for like 2.5 hours and talk about life and where we're at in life and what's going on. Those I think are relationships and friendships that go deeper. But then there's also in the context of the game, I think you have game friends. You have friends that are good folks that you really like talking to, even if it's not about the game. You don't necessarily go super deep into other stuff, but they're just really good people, and you like them, and you have a good time talking to them and everything. I think,
Well, let's see.
so it was somebody like that, but they fell to the dark side a little bit, and they pulled off dirty combo, really not great combo, one that you don't want to see. And I was like, I don't want to look, but I can't turn away. I was like, no, I have to, because I was just saying, like, I want to spotlight that. Like, I don't want to show how broken a deck can be, and then people go like, oh, cool, I can just play that, because it doesn't help anything. But like I said, I'm not throwing stones. It's just it's an interesting thing or dynamic. When it's like you still want to play, but the game has just really pissed you off. Oh, like I said, I was like the no fun deck. So I was running. Now I know some people consider Hallowed Death Priest to be, what's the word? A darling, one of their darlings. You know who you are.
History shall remember.
But to me, he's kind of a little bit of a dirty. Oh, just Panda Magic. Panda Magic. I know that name. But yeah, definitely a lightning bolt or. No, okay. So very rare, and yeah, Dune Ripper with movements. Probably gonna be. I'm not gonna be able to wipe the board, but probably gonna make a pretty good showing. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Let's line up some customers.
So Ross still in the top 20. And Panda Magic won the first opponent we've seen so far in the top 500, which is still incredibly respectable. Really a lot he can do there. Yeah, this is sucks go Razmadasmas there. By the way, it's really cool. So I'm actually changing my. Well, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna jump around from topic to topic. Y'all try to keep up. Behind me there. I'm gonna get rid of the box. I actually want to do my writing here. I think I've mentioned before. I'm working on some stuff, a screenplay and everything, and I've been looking for a good place to write, because where I do my editing and stuff, it's not a writing. It doesn't incubate the writing juices.
This episode is sponsored in small part by the Legendary Remnant Discord. If you're a TESL player and you want to get involved in the community, you want to talk about decks, want to talk about cards, existing and fantasy, if you want to just have a shoulder to cry on, provide a shoulder to cry on, or be a shoulder to cry on that's the exact same thing, or cry on somebody else's shoulder because the game has just been that cruel to you this week or this month, come to the Legendary Remnant Discord. We are legendary. I don't know. Still working on that. But the primary sponsor of this video is Umbriel Falls, a action that is brought to you from the brilliant mind of Vincenzo. Once again, it is a unique legendary for the willpower decks. Very simple. 15 cost. Destroy all cards in play, including support. So, if if New Era was not enough of a board wipe for you, if you're like, you know what, I don't want anything to exist after that, I don't want any supports, I just want a complete fresh start, Umbriel Falls might be the card for you. It is expensive, and there is nothing in here indicating there's a way to decrease that, so you really have to ramp. I'm guessing this is a pure Empire, ramp the heck up, and if you can't draw the new era, or if you do, but you don't want, support to be there, you play this. So, very simple and straightforward. Once again, I would say, possibly overcosted, just because 15 magic can be very hard to ramp into. It's something obviously a ramp deck can do. They're designed to do, but at the same time, I don't know so I'm not saying it's not a sound card. I just don't know that Empire or Willpower needs more removal. We got Dawn's Wrath. We got Immolating Blast. We've got, Sanctuary Raids, but you've got all the single target things, but these are the big ones. And for Empire in particular, you've got New Era. I don't know that another complete board wipe is something we need, but it is unique. Not only because it's a unique legendary, but it is unique in that it is the only card that I know of that also eliminates supports. In fact, I guarantee it is the only card obviously you have cards that delete supports, but this is a mass removal, removing the board, and does gets rid of everything, so you're pretty much starting at square one. I might even, just for the heck of it, would add on, and the ring. If your opponent has not finished playing the ring at this point, it'll also wipe that out too, just so you get to see that blow up. Strength has red year, which is it is not unconditional. It is conditional. That's what not unconditional would mean. Is obviously it does a lot of damage, but it doesn't hurt, it doesn't get rid of wards. It doesn't do anything. This is in line. What I'm trying to say is this is in line with Willpower's milieu, which is, I don't care how cool your character is. I don't care if it's got 70,000 health. I don't care if it's got 75 wards on it. My card's getting rid of it. It doesn't matter. These are shot through the heart, and you're to blame. Your cards are gone in this card game. That's what this is. That's what this is. The Willpower's modus operandi. So it does fit in with that. It's in the right colors. I think even though it does seem high, I think for a card that can do this, 15 action isn't too bad. And it does fit in. I do think there are some cards that people call win more cards that I don't know that that's entirely true of. It may be the case that a lot of times when you see it played, it's a win more card. But like Allied Guardians. I know that's something that gets picked on a lot. I'm trying to think of something else. But something like that, you could say it's a win more card. It's a win more card unless you are backed up against, an aggressive opponent and you're almost dead and you play those. That's not a win more card. That's a turn the tide card. And I think that's true of a lot of cards that are called win more. You may see them played typically when you already have a good board presence, but that doesn't mean that they can't be played when you don't have one and they can't turn the tide of the game. Again, specifics are kind of being lost in my mind right now, but this does seem like a win more cost. If you have ramped up, if you've survived this long and you have ramped up this much, I don't see too many scenarios, particularly with Willpower, with your Immolating Blast, with your Dawn's Wrath, and possibly your New Eras. I don't see a scenario in which case yet another ginormous removal is either going to, help you turn the corner or is going to do anything more than just kind of win more. So I don't know, but so I'm not the art is great. I think this actually looks like straight out of the game already. Umbriel Falls, I probably should look it up. I'm guessing this is lore specific, as is Vincenzo's custom. It looks like a city is being ripped out of the ground. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that. Bear with me here, folks. Bear with me. I might cut this. I don't know. We'll see. You don't need to see all the... Let's see. Umbriel Falls. Umbriel Crisis. Atribus spared Wuhan's life so that Mayor Glim... I feel like I'm reading the Bible right now, just with, there's definitely Old Testament stuff where it's it's a minefield of names you don't have a chance in heck of pronouncing correctly. Okay, the Umbrian Crisis was an event that threatened Tamriel during the Fourth Era. Black Marsh and Cyrodiil were the most affected provinces, although Morrowind was also... Okay, so I'm... Okay, it's the Flying Island. Umbriel Falls. It is the Flying Island. Okay, so I haven't read in further, but I guess it was a disaster. It was flying, and... it fell, maybe? I don't know. Reading is fundamental, folks. Reading is fundamental. But this is just not the day for it for me. But yeah, so it does have the lore, and it says Umbriel Falls. It was a flying city, so I'm guessing it's actually on its way down. It looks like it's on its way up, because it looks like there's some stuff hanging off of it, but in any case, a cataclysm, akin to the Red Year, is what I'm guessing from this. And so it is going to just completely wipe... That's why it probably completely wiped out the local populace, and so that's why it makes it. So, the art is great. I think the cost is probably fair for what it can do. It is demanding that you are playing a control deck with ramp. Like I said, for something like this, most assuredly it is going to be Empire. Like I said, I don't know that it's necessary to equip yet another bit of removal, but, you know, can you ever have too much hard removal? Some may say no. But that's what that is. So I do appreciate the lore being interwoven once again into it. I do like the fact it does have the unique thing that it does get rid of supports. So it is 2 Dawn's Wrath, and I think that's where he maybe came up with the cost, because the Dawn's Wrath is 8, 2 of them would be 16, so, but then also support removal. So it's still a value for what it can do, but yeah, it's a value for what it can do. But it still requires you to ramp a ton. And like I said, if you've got enough Magicka to drop that, you've probably stabilized pretty well, I would think. So, I don't know. You can let me know what you think. Maybe it's on any of those things, and maybe you're going, hey, you know what? We definitely need a card like this in the game. I don't think it's a bad card per se. I wouldn't look forward to seeing it necessarily. But at the same time, even if you're not an aggro deck, if you are a mid-range deck and you haven't closed it out by turn 15, then, you know, maybe this is a good way to say, okay, you should probably concede right now. This would be a nice, like, flag to say, hey, the game's really over, man. Like, you can keep going, but this is probably done. You may want to just concede, because that is it. Unless it drops, and then you've got a deck full of chargers, and you can close it out that way, or reach, or what have you. So, in any case, great card, great thought, Vincenzo. Keep them coming. Happy to see that kind of creativity. Hopefully, it's kind of percolating some thoughts in your all's minds, and helping to foster some creativity there as well. But definitely worth thinking about. And thank you for taking a gander. And now, we jump back into the games.
Okay, Arrakis NPO, and we are coming in just in time to see him do some crushing on Invade.
Watch yourself now.
I don't think... What is he at now? Okay, he's level 2 and above. I don't know... I don't know if this is taking any damage or not. Guessing not. Oh, but yeah, Arrakis. Incovenant, no less. Really doing some cool stuff, and looks like it's going to spare his...
It has been my honor.
Bam. And I'm going to keep this in. It's a short game. It's a quick win. But it is still coming back from behind. Artemis Clyde Frog. Top 50. With clearly no love of the game. Oh, the red year. Do the red year. Do it, Arrakis. Do the red year. Do it. That's... Oh, no, wait. Encano's the only one that can do that. Never mind. I was thinking Breakthrough. I forgot Encano's the only one that can do... Damage has Breakthrough. That was dumb. Arrakis, I'm glad you're not as stupid as I am. Oh, you merged. You unholy merging with it, and Artemis has had enough. Okay, Wilhelm taking a gander here. Luckily, when I came in, there were only like 5 people online total. Not playing, not, just doing different stuff, just total. And so I'm very happy that we're now up to 10, and we're getting a nice smattering. Good to see the Blood Dragon on the board. Although he could die to the brutal onslaught of Hand of Dagoth Premium and the Wisp. And it looks like that is in fact what Abel Denibus is looking to do. Cool Fire Bloom in a Dagoth deck, sir. I applaud your originality, running that combo in these colors, but I wag my finger at you.
Fates smile on Khajiit.
Yeah, no, fates are not smiling upon you. You are not a Telvanni player, my friend. All right, so yeah, Wilhelm obviously running dragons, Redoran dragons. So good to see. We saw Redoran with Eye of the Restless Storm. Although I don't know, like even he wasn't calling it like a dragon Halalu. It had dragons in it, but it was more of a really nifty removal, creative removal, dragonish deck. But yeah, so that is too tall. That thing right behind me there, you can't really see it because of how I crop it out, but you've seen it before. It's too tall for me to put like a laptop on and do any writing, so I'm actually going to get more of those coasters, sandstone coasters that I talked about. You got the legend one here. I mean, custom made, custom ordered. The gal who does them is amazing. You can just pretty much anything you send her, as long as the resolution is good, she can put it on the coaster, and it's really kind of cool. But yeah, so I'm going to get 12 new coasters to cover the desk, and they're all going to be different Legends cards, or Legend cards essentially. So yeah, Let's see. Oh, that was a singleton. Oh, well, of course it was a singleton. We saw that it was a singleton in Arrakis' game.
The forest will not
Yeah,
suffer.
definitely a sweet victory on multiple levels from Arrakis against Invade. I mean, Singleton. I crap you not. I am so freaking tired. I mean, but I guess it's. I thought I could do it because I'm physically tired, but no, I'm at the very bottom. Like I said, it was mentally draining and it was physically draining. But tomorrow I'm not going to be home. I got after work stuff I got to do, and same thing with Thursday. So this video would not get done this week if I didn't do it today. So just push it. That's not. I don't need you to cry for me. I don't need you to be like, oh, too bad. Like I want to do it. I just ask that you forgive my lapses, frequent as they may be, of mental.
The day is mine.
mental shortcoming. Yeah, let's call it that. Oh, nice. The Ascended Dreamer. Ascended Sleeper. I feel like I am a descended sleeper. A decidedly less than stellar sleeper. A wanna-go-to sleeper. That's what I am. Wanna-go-to sleeper. Sleeper, I don't even know her. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so I got 12 of those coming, which I'm really excited about. It was not an absolute necessity. I could have just moved that, but I want the space to be as full of cool art and images as possible. And since we've only got what the card collection, the best we've got, it's like, I don't know, 12 cards, and I don't necessarily care about half of them. There is a physical printed out, like actual like Bethesda Blood Dragon, Skeletal Dragon, Blood Magic Lord, Brynjolf, Marak, Ulfric, Elaine Divided, College of Winterhold, and Wabbajack. So not all of those. But then I guess my point being, there's a lot when you start looking to do that kind of thing and you look for high res stuff, you find out a lot of card art, like Razmadazm. It's a cool looking card in game, but when you blow it up really big, he's almost kind of watercolored. It's still good art, don't get me wrong. It's just not. It's not like something I want to see bigger. Like, it's not like wow. Whereas something like Lyneth, like the alternate art Lyneth, looks beautiful with the colors and just the art in general looks really good. Ebonheart Oracle, I really like that card a lot. What is it? Daggerfall Mage was one of the first cards that I was like, I really want that card, and I liked it a lot. I think it has great art, so that's going to be another one. Who else? Nahaglee's got to be one. He looks really darn cool. Alduin, the alternate art Alduin, where he's on top of the city, on top of the tower. He's barely the best image I could find of that. That was barely good enough resolution for the coaster. Who else? Naru. I think that card looks pretty nifty. I wanted Elena Banach, but she's another one where the art, when you see it really big, it doesn't quite like this. Like Abner, whether you, oh goodness gracious, that was a very unhappy rage from our opponent there. But like Abner, whether you like the card or not, that is really good art. Like you could blow that up, and it's almost like photorealistic art. There was one other Blood Dragon, Nahagleev, and Alduin are the three dragons that I wanted. I mean, but I can make them out of almost all these cards. I mean, Spine of Elder's Blood looks freaking awesome. But now coasters are square, so you gotta look at what the this is the Alduin that I'm talking about. Unfortunately, it's not the premium. Of course, you can't animate art, coaster art, but he looks cool anyway. He's got the red eyes, and it's just a good composition. But yeah, Wilhelm here, I think he's got this locked up. He is flooding the board, and Abel Denibus, he's not running. Oh yeah, this is craziness right here. And he's got an Alduin he can trigger any time. So this is definitely Wilhelm's game. Abel Denibus, unless he's got something up his sleeve. I mean, even if he had a Dagoth that's not going to sway things too far. But we know, obviously, a Red Year, or not a Red Year. Well, yeah, Red Year could do it. And he could be running a Red Year.
What have we here?
But, obviously he doesn't have, like New Era or anything like that, or Immolating Blast. So the cards that typically you'd have to worry about trying to build a big board against and risk getting it swept away or decimated, Wilhelm doesn't have to worry about that, which is, why Dagoth probably doesn't typically run cards like the Spy Master, Balmora Spy Master, and the Cruel Fire Bloom, because those are a little more control-y. And Dagoth can be control, I just don't think that's the way to do it. But whatever. Goodbye, guard. And I think Wilhelm will take it to the face. He strikes once. He strikes twice. Circling the opponent. One more time. Oh! Last turn prophecy. Doesn't have a way to deal with it. Wow, just enough. Okay, so that was a little bit of a misplay on Wilhelm's part. Not a big deal. Just for folks at home, remember, you got to be thinking about what prophecies. Now, obviously, Abel Denibus could have... Oh, wow. There you go. So he had it in hand. Here it is. Tiago the Blacksmith has his own channel, by the by. And he actually has more than just TESL content on there, so if you're down with that. It is in, I believe, Portuguese, which is his native language, if I'm not mistaken. I know his native language is not English, but I believe it's Portuguese. So it is, his channel is in that, but you're going to see some great gameplay. It primarily does run Telvanni. Okay, so hoping Jackson J is not running some crazy invade list, because if anybody remembers from the last time, Tiago, like me, will not play against Telvanni. He will just concede out. And that says something. When Telvanni doesn't want to play against you, that says something.
A taste of Lord Dagon's power.
But this is a singleton Telvanni, as you might have been able to see. And maybe that's why we got Haskell in here. Maybe it's there just for cards like Soul Burst. Because otherwise, this guy is such a turdy turd muffin. I just don't, I don't know why he's in there. I mean, he can be good, but I don't know.
Back off,
yeah. Sorry, I had a mind. I'm trying to remember, because Tiago actually, I started watching a game of his for the last episode, and I made some comments, but then he had to concede because he had to run an errand, and so I don't know if what I said was thrown out or not, but it doesn't really matter. It wasn't anything mind-blowing.
I am a child of darkness.
So very emo. If you have to say you're a child of darkness, But yeah, I mentioned it before and I'll say it again. It's a hallmark of a great player. Even when you're playing control, you know when you need to go on the aggressive. You know when you're up against another control deck. You know when you've got the advantage and you need to press it instead of just going, okay, I'm a control deck, so I shouldn't play these cards, or I shouldn't attack face. Tiago's going, I need to run this down, because he knows, if nothing else, Empire is probably one of these cards he's sitting on a new era. So if he doesn't get it done, and it's, man, that's when you're running that much removal that you're running an invade thing, that's just unfortunate. So we're probably going to see the mute on the Night Shadow, because right now Tiago is all in on the getting the damage. There it is. There's some more, hopefully. Ooh. Not the best. Not the best. But it does silence it. Oh, so that prevents it from going back to his hand, I suppose. Or am I misthinking about that? So the good news is he will get a card draw if this dies. Bad news is his Daggerfall Mage just got turned into a sweet roll. Well, not even a sweet roll, a heart shape. Ugh. I don't even want to think with that. Ugh. He's such a creepy dude. Get out of here, creepy dude. He's a grizzly, creepy dude.
It has been my honor.
Oh, Soul Burst does damage to face. I did not know that. Well done, Tiago. We join a friendly match, and like I said, great alternative. First of all, I apologize. I had stopped in mid-sentence in the last game, thinking I was going to continue my thought in this game, but I totally lost my train of thought, surprising no one, of course. And so I'll try to reclaim it as we go along. But a friendly game, Kevin Eisenfaust versus Tusk Shadows. Tusk always happy to mix it up in friendlies. preference, I do believe, in fact. And he does ladder, but he is somebody, I believe, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, who, you know, he has a limit on, you know, the sometimes nonsense or the sometimes just quirky nature of the game. We'll call it that. And once he hits that level, he's like, he still wants to play.
Apologies.
And he just plays friendlies. So let's see, why is he apologizing? Because he has something up his sleeve. He's got a ton of, holy cow. Yeah, so Eisenfaust has an item. He's running an item battle mage. And Tusk is just hoping that Kevin plays. Okay. He wanted him to play Gardener. He just did not want him to get. He has 2 rages. And he's got an Incarno, so breakthrough. Garnag, breakthrough.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, though, he cannot do Garnag into rage because Garnag is going to hamstring him. He will not be able to rage. Hopefully, he has accounted for that. Not that it's going to matter anyway. Kevin. Then this is the, I don't know how many items Kevin is running, but this is the fine balance you have to have with item decks.
Thank you. Apologies. Thank you.
I live for adventure.
Again, these are 2 friends, friendly match here. So any banter you see, any emotes, they're not. Okay, so I got a question from Fluffy Fries. Who is, as all you know, creates some crazy zany decks. He's kind of hitting a little bit of a dead end, you said, coming up with some new stuff. And his question was what to rally onto. And I'm right up my reflex right off the jump, charge. Like, that is a great, to me, that is like, that's the best way to do rally. For me, is have a bunch of chargers, get your Nord Firebrands in your hand, get your assassins and everything, and you could end up throwing down 3 8 Nord Firebrands, you know, at the end of the turn. It is more of a control deck, so you have to have some control elements in there to allow you to stay alive to that point, because throwing it down with 1 or 2 rallies isn't going to get you anywhere. All right, but Kevin, yeah, now is facing an incredibly large board. Garnag has been silenced, so that does free up Unstoppable Rage, but not really. He's not going to be able to do any damage with it. He's probably just got it 9, 13. Yeah, he's just going to go face it.
You are not worthy. Apologies.
All right.
Thank you.
So yeah, it looks like Tusk's Rage Battle Mage
know how to make them.
is going to prevail over Kevin's item. Like I said, though, when you're building an item deck, just remember, as tempting it is to go, look, I want to have a ton of stuff. Oh, we're not going to get to see a journey either. Oh, it's a bummer.
This was a worthy contest.
But yeah, it's having that balance. I don't know that you can't do half. You can't do a 50-50 item deck. I think I'm not sure if that's what the composition is for Kevin, but it looks that way. It looks like it's mostly a few normal like body cards, but then a ton of items. But good game to both. Good to see a friendly match, mixing it up there. Alrighty, so we are gonna just check out one more friendly between Tusk and Kevin. Tusk with it's not a Prophecy Battle Mage, although the first 2 cards we see on the board from him are in fact prophecies, and Pointy Wall does not usually get played. Let's see. Hang on a second. Tusk was letting me know what it is. Gates deck. Gates.
Apologies.
Gates.
I stand behind my
Gates. Gates. If I say it enough times, I'll get it. I mean, all I can think of is Gates of Madness. That's a Pointy Wall, not a gate. So I'm not sure what Gates means, to be honest. But that is what is in fact being played here. And Kevin is obviously not running his item battle mage. He's now changed over to a Guildsworn, and it looks like it's going to be, yeah, it's either a upper mid range or it's definitely a control. You got Thorana, Sky Shard. These are all building to late game shenanigans. Also with the Skuma's Cat Whimsy. Tusk already has a nice chunk of late game. I think this was the biggest card we saw from him in the last game. So Belly G might be his high end. Well, I guess technically Rage would be his high end, but Belly G is the highest body, the biggest body he's got. Ooh. Biggest proxy of
Nicely done. Ready.
And unfortunately for Tusk, that's going to be just enough to take out his pointy wall with a little bit extra.
I'll send them all to oblivion.
Wabbajack. Ooh, Speaker Tyrannus. Hey, this looks a lot... Well, no, because Sea City's version did not have Thorana, I don't think. Or Skyshard for that matter. Oh, wait, duh. Come on, man. Oh, my gosh. I do apologize, folks. Mea culpa. I got no brain left in my noggin. Obviously... what was I apologizing for? Purple. Did he have a purple? No, he could run Wabbajack natively. What was I thinking?
Nicely done.
What was I looking at thinking that... Oh, the Sky Shard. That's what it was. He's got it on the... He's played it. Obviously, that is not a native card to his deck. So, yeah, Sky Shard is not fitting in with the late game. I mean, it is. It could help out the late game because, you know, the cost goes up, but the stats go up. So you don't want to see that early in the game because you probably can't afford to do much with it. So we are seeing. So yeah, that was a missed call on my part. He stole it. Well, no, he didn't steal it. He conjured it with some, maybe the Spy Master. No, that wouldn't work either. Spy Master doesn't. Wow. I'm glad I'm not driving. I'm not doing anything after. After this, I am literally going to pull the footage off, make sure it's good, and leave the editing for tomorrow, and just curl up in a ball and probably just straight up pass out. It's going to be about 7 o'clock my time when this is done. And I just got to know, it ain't worth it. It is not worth trying to do this when you're tired, because I just don't think I've been doing diddly squat. But anyway, oh, back to my no fun deck. So yeah, I know Hallowdeath Priest is a darling, and Grummite's a darling, but they're also kind of the no fun cards. They could be thought of that way. So I built a deck with all those, and the only thing worse than putting together a deck that you think is just going to stick it to the game and just say, you know what, game, I'm going to be a turd muffin because you've been a turd muffin, so take this. The only thing worse than being brought to that point, being brought to enough fury to do something like that, is to do it and then still get your butt kicked. That's the worst.
Apologies.
And, you know, fortunately for my friends here, does not have enough to give the moral gatekeeper. Doesn't have a magic. Oh, wow, another prophecy.
Here we make our Thank you.
There goes Tyr. Don't cry for
Nicely
me.
done.
Ooh, and that actually is going to put Kevin in a position. Let's see, what can he do here? What can he do? Okay, so he's running a Gates of Madness deck. That's what Tusk was referring to. Oh, and the pickpocket. No, that can't be how he got the Sky Shard. What can he do? I sure. Oh no! Oh, Kevin.
Azora, give me strength.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is. Oh
Apologies.
gosh. A bit of a high roll for Tusk. That's hilarious. Oh man. Oh gosh. I mean, that's just insult to injury right there. Wow. Kevin perhaps thinking what I've said in moments like that. Boy, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any. What is he going to pull? Is he going to high roll? Wait, did he just...
Apologies.
Did he just Balmora Spymaster into a Balmora Spymaster? Is that what we just saw happening? Watch it be another Balmora Spymaster. Nope, okay. Alright, Kevin just playing it out. Ah, Deepwood Trapper. If this was not so big, Deepwood Trapper might have been the perfect card,
Nicely
but
done.
good night.
Apologies.
Tusk, I do appreciate it. They're in voice chat now.
We must protect
Protect the Night Mother.
But unfortunately, like I said, we're about an hour, so I probably got one more game. Sorry, Tusk. I tried to get Discord up and running, but I'm having a brain fart and I'm not sure. It's not showing up, and I don't know why. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, almost rank 2. Okay. So we'll see. This is... I call this Ping Me, so I think this is a self-harm deck.
Met, marsh friend.
As much as I do believe.
My paws are
So this
quicker than your
Tusk is
eyes.
saying this is getting him almost to rank 2. Let's go ahead and put...
I'll take the vanguard.
Don't want to put down our drain just yet. I want to take some damage first. Either to the face or to him.
I ride like the wind.
Do you now? No, that's not a lot of fun. Let's see. Hive Defender does not get it done. It helps. It does help.
Die, scum.
Ah, boy, this is rough. All right, we'll go ahead and throw the Hive Defender down here. And hopefully he's not going to buff it up anymore and we can Candle Hearth. Okay, so right here he does 3 damage, so I'm dead next turn.
Die, scum.
Who cares? See if he makes the trade. If not, we'll Candle Hearth.
Too slow.
Okay, does make the trade. He said he's going for early aggression here. Yeah, all he's got to do is get another 2 health. Okay, that's gonna survive, so I can't charge him down with that. I can rapid shot him though. Seems like a good idea. Although, in theory, I wanted that for this guy. That is one of my self-ping things, but I think he's gonna stack some weaponry onto that guy, and I wanted to take it out. And he is on the aggression, so I don't think I'll be wanting for cards anytime soon. So Worldly Wanderer is going to be our next play. He is going to bring us the support that allows us to
Let's knock some heads.
get bigger when we get hurt.
Your life. For
And we'll see what we can do. So Candle Hearth is going to come down. Take out the Temple Conjurer, get a little buff from that. Worldly Wanderer, in theory, is going to take on Flame Atronach. But we know he plays items, so chances are he is going to buff either or both. Or he's going to Belly G me. We've seen Belly G come down a lot in the last 2 games, so that is a fantastic late game card to have. And that may be the game, actually. It's that easy.
You are not
Candle Hearth actually is really good, or the Steel Scimitar.
Easy as hunting a red skeeter in the snow. Sovngarde awaits.
They will not get past me.
Obviously, we're going to take at least 5 from Candle Hearth, or from Belly G. And he might have another one. That is just the way of things. Now in the back of my mind, I'm wondering why I can't get Discord. It should have been an easy pop it up and go, but yeah, whatever. Focus, man, focus. That's very, very important. All right, yeah, keeps his Dargon alive. I feel like we're just, you know what though?
Speak, citizen.
Oh crap! I can't do both. I can do it next turn though.
Let's knock some heads.
If we're alive next turn.
Worthless.
So the good news is I can ping her, and she's going to go up to a 5/5, I think. No.
Apologies.
Oh, so he's got a rage.
This was a worthy contest.
I walked right into it. Nice game,
Apologies.
Tusk. Should have saw that coming. That was dumb on my part.
By the aid of fine.
Yep. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. And with that, we are going to end this train wreck of a video. Certainly not because of the great games that we saw on display here, but just because my mental facilities are in the toilet, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of this chair if I wait too much longer. So that's going to conclude. Just a friendly reminder that this channel will be migrating over to Roll to 1. It has not happened yet. I don't have all the materials just yet. When you start seeing the Roll to 1 intro, it means that I am starting to create, I'm doubling up. So I'm putting it on Incarnate, this channel, and then I'm also putting it on Roll to 1, and I'll be doing that for 2 weeks, and then every video after that will just be Roll to 1. We are going to migrate the archives over there, or my library over there, so you will be able to just go there just for one-stop shop. You don't have to flop back between the two. That may take a little bit of time to roll out, but that's what we're going for. And I will have the link to Roll to 1 in all of those videos, including this one actually, so that at any point you're like, oh, I remembered, like I want to see the videos after this. You can just click on the link, pick up the video. It won't be where you left off because it's on a different platform, obviously, or on a different channel, but it'll give you a chance to, if you want to subscribe there, great. I'm not trying to push that. That's where it's going. So if you want to see more of this after that 2-week window hasn't started yet, like I said, I will let you know. I'll be like, this is the first of our 2-week window, essentially 6 videos to transition it. Just trying to make sure as many people that still want to watch are going to be able to, know where we're at once we do that. But anyway, I shouldn't talk about it any further because, just trying to keep up with my brain. Anywho, so apologize for the scatteredness. I promise I'll be able to give you all a better presentation for Mondays. I'll probably shoot that bright and early on a Saturday morning and really get the, give you my best. So apologies for the way it is now, but hopefully you got to see some good games and enjoyed what you're able to see. And until next time, keep playing. Too far? Did I go too far? Probably went too far. Fooled you! But seriously, I gotta go.